So for my Community Impact Bucks volunteering opportunity, I paid a visit to the guys at Youth Concern. They're based at the Uptown Coffee Bar, White Hill Lane in Aylesbury. And first of all, I spoke to Fran, who's in charge, to get a little bit more background on Youth Concern.
So we're a independent small charity and we support local young people, 25 and under, and in particular young people who are at risk or vulnerable. That could be mental health, learning difficulty, homelessness, substance misuse issues, and a number of other issues that people might present with as well.
And when they're here, what do they do?
Well, the first thing is that we try and provide a relaxed, informal environment. You can see the building. It's designed to look quite comfortable. And when they're here, it's really down to them how they use the space. So some people will come here just to meet up with people and hang out, or to use the music studio or the IT suite or play a game of pool. Other people will come here because they've got a particular support need. So they might come for a counselling session, or they might be facing imminent homelessness and might come and ask us for help finding somewhere to stay.
But they can just come in for a cup of tea and a chat as well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the core of our work, I think, we would describe it as emotional support, but that is really having a cup of tea and a chat, and we're here to listen. We've got a very small paid staff team, the equivalent of 3.5. And on the last count, we had 17 volunteers. So a lot of those are counsellors, Night Stop hosts, which Night Stop is our emergency accommodation scheme. And then we also have volunteers in our drop-in centre to be befriending, mentoring and listening to young people.
If I wanted to become a volunteer, how does that process work?
So we try and make it as easy as possible, and the first step is to get in touch. Doesn't really matter how you reach us. Then there's an application form to fill in. We then offer you an informal interview, and of course there is a CIB check, they now called DBS check, and a very simple process.
When the volunteering comes in, what are the expectations of that volunteer?
We would want volunteers who can listen, and we all think we can listen, because one of the most important things we can do for young people is to listen. Also, the non-judgmental aspect, so we all have views about different things, but we try not to project our views and opinions on the young people, because we believe that young people have the right to try and make decisions for themselves, and that if you empower young people to think through options, at the end of the day you're skilling them up to go into the world and be independent adults. We also like people who can be flexible, who are open to learning new approaches or procedures for the organisation. And the most important thing, I guess, is to like young people, because the majority of the work is in an informal environment, so you really need to feel comfortable sitting down with some young people who might be in their late teens, early 20s, and getting to know them.
If you had a specific skill and came to you and said, right, Fran, I can do this, would you be, okay, we could use that?
Absolutely. So I think that the essential criteria I was talking about apply mainly if you're working face-to-face with young people. And you mentioned music studio volunteer. Yes, we could definitely use somebody with those skills, but there are also more technical areas. For example, IT, marketing, fundraising, admin, numerous skills. If you think that we could use your skill, then we will do our utmost to find an opportunity that matches your skill set.
Next, I spoke to Phil, one of the volunteers at Youth Concern, and asked how he got involved.
What it was is, obviously I was ill. Obviously I couldn't do the job that I was no longer trained to do as a kitchen fitter. I spent a long time in hospital. I've had treatment. I'm disabled now. And it was my wife who said, maybe we can look at something else. So she suggested, obviously working on the building site. I was good with youngsters from college who struggled a little bit academically. So she encouraged me to maybe look at working at a youth club. So I started off at a youth club in Aylesbury, and which is obviously got me into it. Then I started a course in youth work. I met people on the course who work at Youth Concern, and that was my footstep into Youth Concern. So I just dropped Fran a phone call, and obviously Fran was brilliant. Said, pop in, see us, and it was literally as easy as that. So it was simple. It wasn't complicated. I wasn't put off by any forms or thing. They obviously told me what they do, and I told them what I could offer within the drop-in.
And so your role here, when you are actually volunteering, just run us through a sort of like an average day, if you like.
Average day, we meet between half an hour and 40 minutes before we open the drop-in, which opens at 12 o'clock. We discuss the previous day, what we've done, what work we've done, what work we need to follow on from, speak about what clients we've been working with and get advice from our colleagues. We open the drop-in, we can get anything up to 40 people in one drop-in in a day, well, on average. Then we engage with them. We for a chat. They may do some cooking or they may do some music in the studio. If they've got any concerns about college or they're having trouble at home, a friendship breakdown or family breakdown, we help and support them. Maybe that if they've had a disagreement at home, we can work with them to maybe mediate with the parents and the young person. And we also offer Night Stop. We have a host, and the host then puts the young person up with a checked and verified. And when we run a Night Stop project, we run other projects. We run like allotment projects. Obviously, if you're into gardening, see the music. There's lots
of different facets to it. Say I was a volunteer and I said I can bring something to do with radio or like writing or something like that. I could come in and say, this is what I can do. Do you want to utilise that skill? They would sort of say, right, okay, well, you come in and do that bit part of it.
Yeah, obviously, I find it easy to approach people, talk to people, and engage with the young people. Other things, maybe a game of pool or table tennis, and the relationship builds from there, and that's how we become to support and mentor them, whether they've got a problem at home, as I said, or a drug problem. We can do referrals in and out.
So you're almost like a set of ears to listen to for people that don't have people to listen to them sometimes. Very near to a counsellor of
we offer counselling as well.
Right, okay.
Obviously Paul runs the counselling sessions, so we're very lucky to have that. And so that all goes through him. But it's also just to engage and, make sure that person's all right, or if there is any concerns, we can raise them. Speak to the right agencies, engage with them, whether it's, as I said, family. It could be a family breakdown, or it could just be a simple fact is that they're in trouble at school or college, and obviously we can then engage with a college to maybe, say, look, this is what's been going on. Encourage them back to college.
Right, great.
And obviously our education to, carry on their path where they're going.
What do you get out of it?
But I get, a lot of satisfaction, and some days are challenging, obviously depending on what you're doing with the young person and what concerns they've raised with you. But it's good to see that young person leave feeling positive, and myself, because obviously then, you've done something good, and in the feeling of helping someone when they're not in a good place, and when you see them afterwards and they come back and thank you, it's priceless. It is, obviously, and they really appreciate what you do.
Lastly, I spoke to Jack, who's one of the young people that has benefited from Youth Concern.
The initial reason was I've heard about the place back when I was in college. I was speaking to somebody about my shyness and all that, and they mentioned this place, and it was the music studio that really got me interested, but it was also the idea of just managing to get my overall shyness and social anxieties just sorted out.
Jack also explained how one of the facilities at the Uptown Coffee Bar, the music studio, has helped him focus on something positive in his life.
Just the idea of writing my own lyrics, being able to record it and release it, whether it be to like a small website or like a full album that will be put onto iTunes. It feels good just to let it all out. That's pretty much what the studio is to me.
Away from the music, because the music's obviously massively important to you,
Yeah.
What else has the drop-in centre given you?
It's given me an opportunity just for a place to hang out. So it's like if I wanted just to talk to somebody about anything, then I'd just come here and talk to them.
For more information on how to get involved and volunteer with Youth Concern, and for more information about the Uptown Coffee Bar itself, get yourself online to mix96.co.uk for all the details.